Within the last few days, we have analyzed regarding the mental objects and how the mental object come and strike in the sense space, and how the responsive element, the thinking mind, take place. Not much detail, but briefly, because if we analyze in detail, it will be look like a teaching a class rather than teaching Dhamma talk. So Sayadaw gave his Dhamma talk just briefly on how the mental object come and strike on the base, and how the responsive element, thinking mind, take place. If we elaborate more than that, that will be confusing to yogi. So Sayadaw just explained quite briefly. But today Sayadaw want to continue continue the Dhamma talk on the Manodhara, and the door of the mind or entrance of mind, through which the mental object come in. So this Manodhara is included in the Bhavanka Saita, the subconsciousness, and examining mind, and by reference the Hridaya, which is based on the examining mind and subconsciousness. These three are included in the Manodhara. And then today Sayadaw will continue explaining about the Manodhara, mind door. So in the beginning, a beginner yogi, it is not easy to follow each and every object that occurs to him or her. So even the rising falling, only two objects, it's not easy to the beginner yogi to follow it. Although this rising falling is very few things to note, and very obvious and easy to be aware of. Anyway, in the beginning, the yogi find it difficult to follow each and every rising or falling. Most of the time, his or her mind goes away, wander off. It's just like the schoolboy or girl who start to learn the ABC. For him or her, it's quite difficult to write properly ABC. Even ABC is quite difficult for him or her. Although this ABC is nothing for the adult people. In the same way, the beginner yogi, even the rising falling is quite difficult to follow it, although the object is quite clear and not much and easy to follow. So, for example, when the yogi bending his hand or stretching his hand, he cannot follow the mental and physical process involved in the bending or stretching process. Actually, there are mind and body involved in the mental and physical process, rising and passing away one after another. But for the beginner yogi, it's not easy to be able to see the process from moment to moment. So to him or her, this bending or stretching process is the whole as a solid, as a massive movement. So he confused his mind and a body. He cannot distinguish between mind and body. So the mental and the physical process are confusing to him. He takes these mental and physical process as a whole. He cannot see separately. So when the concentration and the mindfulness or the insight, knowledge become clear and get stronger, yogi is able to see the preceding and the succeeding process or the phenomena. For example, when he make bending of his or her hand, he is able to see the bending process in segment by segment. So he is able to see the distance between the segments. So when the concentration and the mindfulness and the insight knowledge get stronger, a yogi is able to see the objects become less and less. Actually, it is not object to know it become less and less. It is because his preceding and succeeding noting mind is able to see the subconsciousness between the full consciousnesses. So he thought he were to note only the objects less and less and pure objects than before. So such a knowledge, such a realization means the seeing the gap between the succeeding and preceding and the succeeding mental process, and in that gap the subconsciousness process takes place. So that's called the manodwara. So yogi is seeing the manodwara, the subconsciousness through which the mental object come in. Then a yogi will find the object become less and less, and he think he is noting fewer objects than usual, and he find the object become less and slow. Actually, he's finding the gap between the process of phenomena. So he or she start to see the end or the preceding process and the beginning of the succeeding process. So he start to experience the examining mind, which examine the object which occur to him or her. So he are able to see the preceding objects disappear and succeeding object appear, and he or she finds he is taking new objects. So this examining mind, this is the function of the examining mind, is taking the new object. The yogi start to see this examining mind. So the point is that the yogi able to see the noting mind confronting the new object one after another. All the time he is confronting with a new phenomena from moment to moment. Then he may feel sometimes the nausea or giddy, It's just like a walking in the fence, which is a lot of post line. It's different from the walking on the brick wall, by the brick wall. When we walk by the brick wall, we won't feel the jigging or the nausea if we see the wall. But if we walk by the fence, which is a line of the post, and then the post by post make us giddy or sometimes nausea. In the same way, we are able to see, as a yogi, we are able to see the phenomena from moment to moment. We are all the time confronting new phenomena, new objects, and then we feel as if we are giddy or nausea. It can be compared. Another example is can be compared seeing the tree beside the road. When we drive a car, the tree is make us giddy or the nausea. When we drive a car very fast, passing by the trees on the road. In the same way, when we face or confront the new phenomena one after another, from moment to moment, then we feel it make us feel nausea or giddy. It's because we are confronting the new objects one after another. So that means we, the yogis, able to experiencing the bhavanga, subconsciousness, and examining mind, which examine new object one after another. That's why he or she feel the giddy or nausea. In order to understand how a yogi can experience manodvara, the mind door, Sayadaw explain this how yogi we feel at a certain level of the knowledge. At a certain level of knowledge, a certain level of inside knowledge, yogi will not find a form or shape of the physical body. He may lose the sense of the physical body's sensation. Sometimes he didn't feel his finger or leg or hand. So physical form disappeared, and then he or she able to see or experience only the phenomena, especially noting mind. Sometimes that noting mind or knowing mind is coming out of the chest area. So this from the chest area, this knowing mind come and perceive the objects. He start to see the knowing mind like that. But some people may say the knowing mind or thinking mind is coming out of the brain. It's maybe because of his or her obsession or the concept. At a certain level of the knowledge, especially Bhanga Jnana, yogi is able to see the phenomena arising and passing away from moment to moment, together with the noting mind, which is disappearing right after the objects. So yogi is able to see the object and noting mind appear and disappear straight away in pair all the time. It's just like a two person in pair jumping into the water and disappear. In the same way, yogi able to see the object and noting mind in pairs, appear and disappear from moment to moment. That is the vipassana, that is the insight into the impermanence. And then yogi able to see is called pati vipassana, the another the vipassana. Later yogi able to see the clearly, yogi able to distinguish between the object and the noting mind, arising and passing away clearly, one after another, from moment to moment. And then the mental object come and strike in the base. So if he explains in detail, elaborates in detail how the mental object strike in the base, then it will be look like a teaching a class rather than the teaching giving Dhamma talk. So Sayadaw just explain how yogi able to experience when he is a certain level of the knowledge. So among the out of the vipassana jnana, vipassana knowledge, at a certain level of the vipassana jnana, yogi is able to see the objects occurring through the 6 sense doors clearly and precisely. At that moment, yogi's mind is very calm and peaceful and tranquil. Any object, whatever it may be, pleasant or unpleasant, pleasurable or unpleasurable, agreeable or unagreeable, disagreeable, his mind is won't be affected. There's no attachment or anger or aversion take place in his mind, in his or her mind. So according to the literature, it is said Chakuna Rupan Teswa, Niwa Sumno Hodi Nadomno, and so on. When one yogi sees with the eye something or someone, he won't be feel happy or unhappy. His or her mind is very calm and tranquil and peaceful. It's because he is very mindful and knowing the phenomena from moment to moment. So ordinary people, as a ordinary people, when he or she encounter the person or things he like or he or she love, and then he or she feel attached to the object. The attachment take place. Sometimes he or she see the person or things he hates or he or she dislike. Then the aversion or anger or hatred take place. His mind is all the time, his or her mind is all the time restless. As a yogi, at this level of knowledge, at this certain level of knowledge, his or her mind is very calm and tranquil. His mind is very balanced. So without mindfulness, anybody may feel attached to the object which is desirable, may feel detached from the object which is undesirable. But the yogi, he or she is mindful and knowing the phenomena, then there's no chance for the attachment or aversion. Yogi able to see the phenomena arising and passing away. So every phenomena is impermanence. And then the phenomena are subject to the impermanence phenomena is for victim to the impermanence. So all phenomena are unsatisfactory, suffering, and there's no self or ego involved in the phenomena, just only mental and physical phenomena arising and passing away. In this way, yogi able to see or realize the objects as a permanent and suffering and a non-self. So his mindfulness, his or her mindfulness is very strong and very powerful. So at that moment, his mental state can be even compared with the arhat's mind, arhat's mental state. So at that level of knowledge, yogi, his or her mind's mental state is honored to be like the arhat's mind. Because at that moment, there's no attachment and no aversion or anger or hatred does not come in. Anger or hatred coming to his or her mind. When the vipassana knowledge becomes stronger, the objects occurring to the senses, to the sense doors, are noted one after another. The yogi mind is very stable and steady. So when he sees something or someone he like or dislike, there's no anger or attachment take place. That means the Buddha gave instruction by inference. The yogi is expected to note the seeing the moment he see. The yogi even should note the hearing the moment he hear and so on. So the Buddha is instructed us to note the senses the moment they take place. Then yogi is able to see the true nature of the phenomena. So the result is his or her mind is very calm and tranquil and steady and stable. So at that moment he or she is neither happy or nor unhappy. He or she is able to see himself or herself calm and tranquil, as if he is a arhat, he or she is a arhat. His or her mind is very is kept away from the mental defilements and very tranquil. So at that moment, at that level of the knowledge, Sayadaw sometimes ask them purposely to arouse the dosa or attachment, trying to arouse. But he or she find dosa or anger or hatred or attachment cannot be aroused. His or her mind is always, come back from the attachment or anger or hatred. So it is called nivuttati, the drawback from the unwholesome mental state. So some yogi, they said, although they sent their mind to the unwholesome mental state or trying to arouse unwholesome mental state, lova or attachment or greed, hatred, but their mind is never go to the unwholesome state, straight away come back to the vipassana object, just like a boomerang which is thrown to the object and straight away come back to the person who threw it. The answer is like that. So if we practice meditation seriously, we are able to experience this this type of mental state. Is our mind is becomes stable and tranquil, stable, steady, and tranquil. It can be compared with the door we call Pitain door. This door is heavy underneath weight. So wherever it is thrown is always stand upright. In the same way, our mind, whatever situation, in any condition, our mind is stable and still, tranquil. At that moment, our mental strength also gain the momentum. Our faith, our viriya effort, and mindfulness, concentration, and insight knowledge, and moral fear or shame. These are all accumulated and get stronger and stronger. So our mind also becomes stable and steady and stable and tranquil, calm and peaceful. And then our at that moment, at that level of knowledge, our spiritual stamina and spiritual immunity and resistance power is get very stronger and stronger. So we are able to resist against any unwholesome mental state, any unwholesome objects. So we are able to face with any object without arousing any unwholesome mental state. This is a priceless reward. Everybody wish to gain. So time is up. So Sayadaw will continue more interesting talk tomorrow. Maybe 3 more days. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.